What's up, everybody? Want to cover a lot of things today. Try to do it as quick as possible. I know I drag things quite a lot. I call this book Justice League of America number 31. It's a variant. I thought it was a 1 in 100. I should have researched it more, really. It's a 1 in 25. I think it was Wilbert that corrected me on that. I thank you, my friend. Thank you for that. Definitely don't want to be putting out wrong information. I promise I will try my best to correct that. But this is a 1 in 25. I thought it was a 1 in 100 because when I bought this one, I think it was this one or a different one. I have multiple copies of this, but this is the only one that I bought graded. It said 1 in 100. Maybe it was the ungraded one. So I figured it was 1 in 100. Anyway, bottom line is this one I bought because it was in an old label. And in my experiences, now I don't go out and buy the notes. I take a chance with the labels, really. I do take a chance with the labels, and this book just happens to look beautiful. So I'm going to send this out to get cracked and regraded. And the way I look at it, at worst, when you send it out to CGC to get cracked and regraded, most of the time, I mean, you know what? Only one time did I have a book come back that they cracked lower, and it was a book that was signed by McFarlane. And I've said it before. It was a Amazing Spider-Man 300. And it's because he puts pressure on the book. And this is what I'm thinking happened anyway. Right? Maybe sweated on it. I don't know. Sweaty hands. But it's the only book that ever came back lower. Right? It came back from a 9.6 to a... It was a 9.4 to a 9.2. Yeah, 9.4 to a 9.2. All right, so, but every other book that I sent for them to crack, for CCS to crack, has always come back either higher or at the same grade. So, yeah, this one's going to be going out, getting regraded. That was something really quick. All right, I talked about this today, as a matter of fact. Let me put this away. We have that right there added to the Grail project, and this is going to be book number 22. Is actually two books. It's going to be the trade dress and the virgin cover. This is one of them. This is the other. They both look phenomenal. Now I don't know if they're going to have writing on them, because I'm assuming the trade dress will have some type of writing, right? But see, that one, he's holding they call this a WWE variant, but he's holding the belt right there. This is Noel. Beautiful cover. This is going to complement the other cover from Venom 28. The one thing that I don't like, that this is a Frankie's. Now, I said it was Golden Apple because that's where I saw it. Again, Wilbert, man, I love you, man. But Wilbert said that's a Frankie's. That's a Frankie's store variant. And Frankie's is electing not to do print runs anymore, which I don't like. And I don't like it because they can print... If they don't announce print runs, they can print as many as they want. Like, at least for the Venom 27 WWE variant or the wrestling variant, it looks like they announced 3,000 on the trade and then 1,000 on the virgin. So I'm assuming this one's going to be the same. However, where are we at? No. Let's go back to it. However, they sold out of the Virgin and trade sets, which is the only way that you can get the Virgins, right? The trade dress, I believe, is still here. See, the trade dress is still here for 20 bucks. And then also in Golden Apple, I believe they still have both. Let me see if they have the trade. They got the trade still. And yep, they still have the Virgins. That's for 50 bucks. So I think they should have sold out already. So I don't know what the print run's gonna be, but that is one thing I don't like. If they keep doing that, I will stop buying from Frankie's. I'll stop buying their because I want to know, like, if you're gonna pay that much for a book, you need to know what the print run is. I mean, really, seriously, you have to. Whether you you know, whether they're worried about bots or people you know, monopolizing like the sales or whatever. There's ways. I mean, you have to pay attention. You know, if you want the books, pay attention to it, and you know, if you have interest in it, do your research and buy them. And sometimes you just miss them. If I miss it, I miss it. You know, no sweat. But you know, no excuse not to put up a print run on a book that costs that much. You know. All right, so that's the next book going into the Grail project, and this is the transaction right here. Ended up getting 10 of them. All right, at 50, set of 2, and that's how much. Yep. Getting really expensive. All right, book 22, 20, average of $25 a book, using 16 for the Grail project. And that's the date. It's been a while since we put a book into that. All right. I got an email about but we only find them when they're dead, the 5 1 in 50s, and the seller told me that they're in pretty bad shape and he had to send them back. So I don't know what's going to happen with those, because I did not want them in bad shape, obviously. So hopefully he'll be able to get them back with like in better in near mint shape or better, because they are. I'm gonna need at least 3 of those in 9/8. All right, that's the second thing. Here's the third one. 20 Blue Marvels. I was gonna send all 30 to my presser, but I changed my mind. So I looked all of them over. There's 20 here, there's 10 in this one. Okay. I'm sending 10 to CCS along with some other books that I want CCS, because there's books that I want them to crack, just like that one, right? And I'll show you those books as well. But these books are less of a project. I looked at them and I think that these books, these 10, are really good condition, and I feel pretty confident on these possibly getting 9/8 after presses. These were ones that were like in the middle of the bunch of books that I had. See how that has a little bit of a spinal, but that can be pressed out. But the books look really great, and all 10 of these, I picked out 10 and 20. So the actual project, the pressing project, I'm giving it to my presser, Mr. Gary Kendra, because I think he can do wonders with those, and maybe I can come out with a few 9/8 out of his bunch, and these hopefully will come out with a high percentage rate of 9/8 out of those 10. That's the plan. That's the hope, I should say. Along with those 20, I'm sending Mr. Kendra these. Now, these I was going to send them in the last batch that I sent them, but I took these out and I put 2 other books in. I did not show those 2 other books. All right. What the heck is that? What is that? Is that part of the... Oh man, I might have to take that one out. I didn't see that. Look at the things that you see, and it can't be part of the artwork because it's not on this one. Damnation. I'm gonna have to look at that really carefully. I'll probably end up replacing that book with something else. But anyway, those are 2. Why the Last Man. I also took this one out and put up a different book as well in the last batch. And I'm sending these to Thor 337 and Thor 338. Those are from the PC, and sending them out. As you guys know, this is a book from 1983, and it is a newsstand, which absolutely means 0.0. Newsstand means nothing in 1983, right? About the same production as a newsstand as there is for a direct. This has a 75-cent Canadian price variant that is a newsstand, and that's the only one that means something. Okay, but it's still a good book, and it's got good value. All right, and I'm getting rid of it because I do have other copies of it that are not in this type of condition and in worse condition. This is near mint for sure. You know, not near mint to mint, I don't think, but maybe with a pressing and a cleaning, who knows. But I do own a 9.6 Canadian now, so, and that's in the PC for sure. All right, so those are going to be a 25. Like I said, I'm probably going to take the one out and replace it with something else. Now I'm going to show you guys something really special, man. This is super special. You know what, I'll show you this as well too, guys. I'm going to show you this as well. All right, so this is Mr. Kendra's website. It's Impressive Comic Books, www.impressivecomicbooks.com. You can go in there. Now, there's certain things about the site that some people are not going to like. In the beginning, when I first did something with him, I did not like this. But he is a guy that I have grown to trust. You go to submission form, and you can print right there. Printable form. Click it here, and you can print the forms right here. Right? That's his mailing form right there, submission form, and this is where you put the books. And then if you're sending, single books that are, more, there's 20 spaces right here. Just keep printing the second page, and then you send them, and it's pretty self-explanatory. He tells you what to do. The one thing that he asks, that some people are going to be apprehensive about, because I was, is that he asks you to put your credit card, if you're going to send it to CGC and stuff. He asks you to put your credit card there, credit card info. But I trust him, safe with me, so I've done it. But that's something that if you are not willing to do, and then you gotta find a different presser, or maybe use CCS. I am comfortable using CCS, but I do believe that Mr. Kendra might just be a little bit better than CCS. I'm not 100% sure of that, because I am happy with CCS, but I am using both of them anyway. using CCS and him for my pressing needs, and I am planning on giving him my major projects because I like his work, and I like the way that he cleans better than the way the CCS cleaned. Kind of. Maybe it was just a couple examples that I saw that were better. You know, maybe it's not fair to say that for CCS, but anyway, that's the way that I am currently feeling right now. But I've had good results with both of them. Okay, so these are the actual forms. Haven't filled this one out yet, but I'm going to fill it out. And this is one that I filled out. So these books, that's the thing about Mr. Kenra, is that you can submit. You don't have to have a CGC or a CBCS account. He has it, and he's willing to let you use it and get his discounts. And he gets even a better discount than I do, and I got the highest discount for CGC. In this case, this is going to be the first time I submit to CBCS because I have 10 books that are signed, and one of them is an absolute grail for me. Okay, I'll start showing you guys the books. So this is one book. This is not the one that I consider a grail, but I do consider this a pretty nice book, and it is a great looking book. It is a newsstand, and it can as you can see, it needs a press, but that is not color breaking. You see, centering is not great on this book. It's actually way off center, but it's still pretty nice looking book. It does not have the ridges that usually this book tends to have, but the beautiful thing about this book is that right there. And if you guys know who that is, it's pretty distinct, that signature. That is Mr. Mark Bagley that signed this. He did not sign it in the front, but all of these books are going to be going to CBCS for signature verification. I wish CGC would do that, but they don't. Okay, this one is the first appearance of a few characters. The one right now that everybody gets this book for is Lobo's daughter, which is right there, Crush. But it does have other first appearances like the Djinn. I read this book. It's really freaking cheesy, super cheesy, but it is signed by Mr. Glass, which is the writer, and I'm gonna send this one out. This one's going out to get graded because it looks like a 9.8 to me. This book is limited to 800 copies. It's die number 1, Virgin edition. Only 800 made. And this is signed by Gillen and Stephanie Hans. And I'm going to send this one out to get graded. A ghost in the modern age. Still not calling that a grail because it's not yet. This one is signed by Mr. Jay Lee, and as you know, I love this character. I think this character will be, her books will be grails, and this might just be one of them. This is limited to 500 issues. It was only printed for the New York Comic Con, and he signed this one, Mr. Jay Lee. Only 500 made, and we're sending that one out to CBCS. Looks like a 9.8 to me. This one's signed by Mr. Donny Cates, Guardians of the Galaxy #1. Alright. Looks like a 9.8 to me. And you know what? And those should look like 9.8s. I mean, they're modern books. Alright, now is when we start going into the nitty-gritty here. The good stuff. Alright, so this one is Uncanny X-Men number 138. Cyclops leaves the X-Men here for a little while, but this one is signed 4 times. The big signature here is right there, Mr. Stan Lee. Anybody that sees that signature will see that that is Mr. Stan Lee. It's also signed by Len Wein, Joe Rubenstein, which is the Rubenstein, which is the inker. All right, and it's signed by the writer, Mr. Claremont, and that's really the significance of this book. Pretty much just all the signatures on it, you know, especially that one right there, Stan Lee. So stoked about that one. Not calling that one the Grail either. All right, this one is also a book that is signed by Mr. Stan Lee as well. The Man, number 157, Uncanny 157, and this is just part of the Phoenix Saga. This one's signed by Claremont and Dave Cockrum, so it's a 3 times signed. You know, that's Cockrum right there. All right, and let's go with this one as well. This one, 118. 118 is signed by Stan Lee, and who's the other one? Chris Claremont, I think it is, right? Oh, Claremont's signature is on the inside. I can't show you his signature, but it's on the inside. Claremont is on the inside. All right, let's go with the next one, Wolverine 57. This is one that I'm not sure how well this one's gonna do as far as sell wise. It's a good looking book. I need a high grade on this, but it is signed by Larry Hama, Rubenstein, and let me see who's the and Mark Silvestri. Okay, and now for the Grail. This one, oh my God, this one's staying in the collection. This is Fantastic Four number 39. A blind man shall lead them. They actually Marvel made a cartoon about this story. It was in the 90s that they made the cartoon, A Blind Man Shall Lead Them. That's not the reason why this is a Grail, though. This is a Grail because that baby is signed by Stan Lee and Mr. Jack Kirby. Man, if you guys have seen all my videos, you've seen how much I love this man right here. I love Kirby, man. This right here is staying in the collection, like, no matter what. To have a book that's signed, I mean, I wish it was a key or like a first appearance, you know. But I'll take this. I'll take this because this is a rarity that both of them sign the book, you know. I had a shot at buying an Eternals number 1 that's signed by both of them, but now that same book that I would have bought a while ago for you know, a few $100s is now going for like $2,000 or $3,000, you know. And maybe if we make some money with this Grail project, maybe that might be a book to consider getting, or something like that. Consider getting book by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. But for now, that right there will suffice. And that is it for this video, my guys. That is it. I ended up looking for, remember I was looking for the other Blue Marvels, the 10 Blue Marvels that 10 sets that I bought from my local comic shop back in the day. Those are the ones that I remembered, and I remember them so vividly because I sought them out and I traveled to it. I actually walked to my comic shop. So I found one set, and all right, so what happened was that we moved, right? And in the process of moving, I put these books in boxes. I still have a room that is even to this day, like, it's packed with stuff, man. It's like a storage room, and I'm a little bit worried about the books because it's like I said, it's rookie mistakes. I thought I packaged them well, but you saw what happened to the other ones because I never bagged them. I completely forgot about those 30 that I bought them. I completely forgot about that. Probably because that transaction, these books, this is a $3.99 book for 2008. And my comic shop sold them to me for $1.90. Less than half the price. Less than half I paid for all 30 of them, each, you know. And that's how you can tell. And that was like a year later. It was a year in 2009 as I bought that. But that pretty much tells you what this character was doing back then. This character was going nowhere. All of a sudden is like now. I spec'd on him back then because it was different. I've made a video on this character before. It was something different. It was something that I liked, something fresh, and I loved it. That's why I went out and I bought 10. And when I saw my comic shop destroy his books, the ones that I went back to get, and he had the covers off and ripped, and he told me, "Hey, I'm sending these back." I said, "Why are you ripping them?" He's like, "Oh, no, I got to get my money back. They're not selling." I said, "Damn, man, I was coming to freaking buy them, you know." And I hadn't bought them yet because they had a little bit of damages. They had a little bit of spine ticks and stuff like that. But I was going to buy them, you know, for cover price. But he had already ripped them. So when he ripped them, I was like, you know what? If I see them again, I'm gonna buy them. And yeah, I bought them when I saw them in my comic shop online. I said, you know what, they got them? I'll take them all. I'll take all 30. And then I forgot about it. Which I tend to do with a bunch of my books. This is an entire set of 1 through 5. I have like 9 more sets. For all I know, I might have more than 9, you know. But what I remember is that I bought 10 from him. But I might have more. I'm hoping I do have more than that. These are not going out to him yet, though. They're not going out to get. So those 30 are going to go out to get graded, but these not yet. I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I've invested in the past. This is a recent buy that I also forgot about. See how quickly this can happen, right? See these? I forgot about these. Now, I just found them, and I'm going to bag them now. And the only reason I got these are not worth anything. They're not worth anything. Only reason I got them is because I bought like 3 or 4 of them before, and they came with spine ticks. So I went right to Zenoscope, and Zenoscope still had these, and I bought them at less than cover price from Zenoscope. I bought 10 of them. I'm planning on getting these slabbed because they're just really good looking covers. That's the plastic, guys. That is not the book. But these are just nice looking covers. She looks like Wonder Woman for sure. I don't know for a fact that this book was ever a controversy between DC and Zenoscope, but I freaking love that cover, and I know that if I love it, other people are gonna love it, and they're gonna buy it. And I'm gonna keep definitely at least 198 on that, but I'm gonna send those out to get graded eventually. And this is a book that look guys, this is a book. I am not an influencer. But I'm hoping that there will be an influencer that talks about this. And there's quite a few of them. Comic Tom, Thorough is an influencer now. He's a big influencer. Thorough Comics. Keeping it thorough, I should say. Of course, Bueller and Billy from Economics and Comics. And I can tell you that none of them, I'm pretty sure, know about this book. Very few people probably know about this book. This is Saban's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I've talked about this book in another video. I sent this book out to TBM in the 100 giveaway that I had. Bro, this book is worth nothing. You can buy this book right now, today, probably for $5 on eBay. But this book is something that people don't know about. The Power Rangers right now are really hot. Everybody's liking the boom. Power Rangers, Hasbro's Power Rangers, right? This is what started it in the comic book industry anyway. Power Rangers started in they were created in 1993 by that guy right there. His name is Haim Saban. He created these characters and then he marketed them. In 1993, he went out and he pitched them, and he ended up getting the television series, which, at the time I thought it was really cheesy, but it caught on quick. No, it's still cheesy now, I think, but people are still watching it. And a year later, he put out like a mass campaign to just promote them. From toys to comics. I'm assuming that Marvel Comics and DC didn't want to participate in it. So he went to somebody that would, and it was Hamilton Comics. Hamilton, how many people know about Hamilton anyway? I sure as hell didn't. This is another book that I went crazy on. These I did bag, okay? Got them for almost nothing. I got a whole bunch more of these, by the way. I got a whole bunch more, because how could you not for a book like this? All you need sometimes is for an influencer to start talking about these, and then it gets them out into the public, gets people to start talking about the book, and then great things can happen. So we go to the Bible, Standard Catalog of Comic Books, 2005. Hold up just a sec. Oh, man, this book is heavy, man. I don't want to damage the books. Here it is right there. You see that? 7,425 is the print run on these. One distributor only, Cap City, though. But at the most, I think you can double that. At the very most, maybe 15,000. In my opinion, that's probably correct. Around 7,400. Online, you're gonna find them. You're gonna find a ton of them. You know why? Because nobody knows about them. Nobody wants them. All right, they look cheesy. Who cares? These are rare. You're gonna find them on eBay all over, even though that there's you know, that print run, a small print run, you're going to find them. Take advantage of it, hold it. And if you buy it for $5, even $10, hey man, and it doesn't pan out, at least you took a chance. That's what I did with the Blue Marvel. That's what you guys can do with this. Later, guys. Have a good night. Sorry about that, guys. Keep doing this. This is like 10th time that I've done this. I said bye, and then I'm coming back. All right. So I wanted to say this anyway, though, because I just, this is something like super interesting to me. Like, I found it interesting anyway. So Saban creates these guys in 1993. In 2001, less than 10 years later, he sells them to Disney, because by that point these are selling like crazy. The toys are selling. The show is hot, or was hot, and Disney wanted a piece of it. So Disney went out and bought this, along with other intellectual properties that Saban had, for $3.2 billion. $3.2 billion. Nice little take, right? However, Disney didn't do anything with these, so it was like a loss of money for Disney to do this deal, because they could never figure out what to do with these characters. You know, they put them in their in Disneyland and Disney World and stuff, but that's about the only thing that I think that they did. They definitely weren't handling the way that his company was. So 8 years later, Disney sold it again. And who did they sell it? They put the properties up for sale. And who did they sell it to? They sold it back to Saban. Saban bought it back for $100 million. That's like Disney giving him like $3.1 billion for free, for a loan. You know what? We're gonna give you $3.1 billion so that you can loan us this property for 8 years. It is one of the most idiotic deals ever for Disney. And I mean, for Saban, I mean, come on, the guy's a freaking genius. Then Saban turns around in 2018 and sells the same properties, along with the Transformers and other properties, to Hasbro for I think it was over $500 million. So in the span of less than 30 years, Saban has milked this for all. I mean, he'll never be able to spend that money in 100 lifetimes, you know. But that's why this is the only book that's ever going to say, right? And it's the first book. This is the first book, guys. Saban's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they no longer belong to him. They now belong to Hasbro. And this is Hamilton Comics. Go out. My advice, buy a few of these. And if you can get them in 9.8, get them. Because like I said, all it takes is for an influencer, a true comic book influencer, to start talking about these, and they will shoot up. Obviously, I've held on to these for a while, so I'm hoping that it does pan out. Blue Marvel pan out, along with some other books. I'm not gonna lie, some other books have panned out for me, but it looks like the Blue Marvel, that's a magnificent hit. And I love the comments that you guys were putting. Love the comments, you know. All right, now for real. Bye con Dios.